Relationship advice. Updated, I, 24 mil, gained 70 pounds and ruined my relationship. Is it okay to ask my girlfriend, 23 female, to stop making mean comments about it? Original post. I just want to start by saying I don't blame her at all. She is a great girl and I pushed our relationship to breaking point by gaining so much weight that I am no longer attractive. It's all entirely my fault, so I'm not angry with her. It's just that the frequency and increasing nastiness of her comments are starting to get to me a little. Maybe I don't have a right to feel this way, I don't know. I gained almost 70 pounds in our 2-year relationship, mostly due to depression, drinking, and letting up on my previous strict diet. When we started dating, I was fit but a bit chunky at about 190 at 5 feet 11 inches. I had just lost about 40 pounds. I gained that back plus about 25 pounds more during our relationship, and I got to 258 pounds at 5 feet 11 inches at my biggest. I have now lost 7 pounds on a diet. I'm disgusting. I can't even look at myself. She brought it up after I had gained about 20 pounds, and then the comments got more frequent, and now she makes probably 3+ comments/insults a day about my weight. Here are some example things she has done or said. I know these may seem bad, but I'm not trying to demonize her, she is great otherwise. She refers to me as her morbidly obese boyfriend to her friends and anyone else behind my back. I am morbidly obese, I think? So she's not wrong, but it's very embarrassing. I guess I deserve it though. We had an argument, rare, where she called me a disgusting fat pig and said she was counting down the days until I died of obesity. She apologized for that one and we had a good talk about things after, but she soon went back to the comments. She buys me clothes that are too small, she says it's not on purpose but I think it is, and then says something like, "Wow, I can't believe you've grown out of that already." One time she made me come with her to the shop to return a pair of jeans and swap for a bigger size. She made a massive fuss about it with the employees, and basically just humiliated me in front of everyone in the store. She said she would only have intimacy with me if I lost at least 70 pounds. She says she can't help but find fat extremely unattractive. I do understand that, and it's okay to have preferences. I'm doing my best to reach that goal, and I want to lose even more than that. She calls me greedy and says I have no self-control. She isn't wrong, but she will make me food, then if I eat it all, say that I have no self-control? I never eat the full amount anymore, so I guess that tactic worked. If she makes me food, I'll only eat like a quarter of it so she doesn't say anything. I get anxiety whenever I eat in front of people now. I get like sweaty palms and think everyone is looking at me. I went out for Christmas dinner with my friends, and only ended up eating a few bites because I was so anxious. I know that's a good thing and I should be thanking her for that, but I don't want that anxiety to stay, even when I lose weight. This isn't her fault though obviously, she is not responsible for my anxiety. She tries to control everything I eat. I am on a diet and have lost 7 pounds in the last 2 weeks. Not much I know, but I am going to start a water fast at the start of the new year. She didn't force me to do that, but I hate myself to the point where I would rather be dead than live in this body any longer, so I want to lose weight as quick as I possibly can. I know it's not her fault at all. I ruined the relationship when I gained weight, not her. Her reaction is understandable, she doesn't want a fat boyfriend. It must have been frustrating to watch me gain all that weight. I feel terrible for what I've done to her. She always says how much happier I will be if I lose weight, and I know she's right. It's just I can't help but feel hurt and almost afraid of her sometimes? Not like actually afraid, just like afraid that I am physically repulsing her. I unconsciously suck in my stomach whenever I'm around her now. Sometimes she treats me like I'm the most disgusting thing she's ever seen. I agree that I am physically repulsive, but I can't help but be hurt sometimes. Should I just accept it? That's what I have been doing so far. However, since I have started losing weight, is it okay to ask her to stop making comments? Now for the top advice before reading the update. Oh my god, please leave her. I don't usually jump to that, but this was horrifying to read. She's a terrible person. I understand she has preferences and I wouldn't mind if she supportingly tried helping you lose weight because she was worried, but that's not it. She is verbally abusing you and testing you and degrading you, and you don't deserve that. She is a way bigger problem than any weight you could have gained. I am so sorry she is hurting you. Please find someone better. She's not a good person. Gonna jump on this comment and agree wholeheartedly. Everyone gains weight, it's horrible, and as someone who exercises her butt off to stay slim, it ain't easy if you don't know how, have gained a lot, or in a bad place mentally. Her behavior is freaking abhorrent. I would never do this if my partner gained weight, to be honest, wouldn't give a damn unless it noticeably affected his health, because it is abusive, dehumanizing and extremely embarrassing. She is showing herself up. She is trying to control you. If she really can't stand it, then she should freaking leave. We are entitled to our preference. She is trying to break your confidence and make you easier to control. There are nicer ways of telling someone you aren't happy. Leave her, she isn't trying to make you better. This dynamic is totally, absolutely, totally, utterly, wholly not okay. I hope this is fake, but if it's not, here's my advice. As someone who previously suffered from an eating disorder, your girlfriend sounds exactly like what I would say/do to myself. My eating disorder almost killed me. This person sounds like they have their own deep-seated issues. This goes far beyond having preferences, this is full-blown abuse. And the fact that you have not left her, tells me you might be entirely dependent on her. You need to get out of this relationship, this dynamic immediately. I cannot stress enough the danger that is present. Please, tell your friends, tell your family, call a hotline, do whatever you need to do to leave. If you can't leave her for whatever reason, please see a therapist and read them this post. You are not the bad guy, you are not demonizing her, there are no qualities of this person that could redeem her of this, and you are not making her look bad. She is doing this all by herself. Hating yourself is not an option. Any changes you make to yourself should come from a rational, objective mindset that considers your feelings and your health above the rest. This is not it. You deserve better. You are being mistreated, this is abuse. Please, 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 I am begging you to get help. Thank you for your answer. I honestly never thought she was abusive. Well, maybe I did in some ways, but I deserve it. It's hard to know what to think. Like half the people in this thread think her treatment of me is okay, and then half don't. Would a therapist think this is mistreatment, or would I just be wasting their time? She doesn't have an eating disorder as far as I know, but she is healthy and fit. It must be hard for her to be with someone overweight. I don't think she means to be abusive if that's what she is. I'm not dependent on her, she is actually dependent on me for money. Maybe I am dependent on her in other ways though. I'm just curious, what is the danger of staying with her? And now for the update. Sorry this is kind of long, but it did get quite eventful. Thank you so much to everyone who commented. It helped me see my relationship in a different light, so thank you all, even the ones who said I deserved it. The general consensus was that she was abusive, which honestly shocked me at first. I really expected every comment to support how she treated me, and say she was just trying to help, etc. I thought I deserved to be mistreated for gaining weight. I still kind of believe that, but I think most people treat their partners with kindness. I never want anyone to feel the way I did to their partner. Also, the high stress/anxiety levels I felt constantly are pretty terrible for losing weight. I had convinced myself that I was disgusting and undeserving of love, and she was just trying to help, but I now realize she probably wasn't even trying to help me at all. It's hard to think that of her, because I love her a lot still, despite her faults. I realized there were a lot of things in our relationship that I was uncomfortable with, that I felt like I could never bring up because she would get upset and start crying, so I would end up comforting her, or she would just turn it on me and get angry and blame me. Things always had to go her way or she would start crying. My girlfriend was entirely dependent on me for money, and I paid for literally 95% of things. She never wanted to get a job because I paid for her. I was okay with this because I loved her, and felt like I had to prove myself to be worthy of her. I paid all the rent and bills. 2 days ago, New Year's Eve, I was in our bedroom on my phone when I got a text. It was from an unknown number calling me a fat freak, and something about how I didn't deserve my girlfriend. This wasn't too unusual. I have been receiving abusive texts from several different random numbers for months. Mostly about my weight, but also about all sorts of things. I had several ideas of who it could be, and it was honestly eating me up inside. It was giving me extreme anxiety because they seemed to know so much about me. A few hours later, on a whim, I decided to call the number. I have done this before, but it never got answered. I even spoofed my phone number and still nothing. You can probably see where this is going. Vibration came from my girlfriend's bag in the cupboard. I guess she forgot to put it on silent. It was like the biggest sinking feeling I have ever felt. She had purchased a burner phone specifically for texting me abuse. She took time out of her day just to put me down anonymously and wear me down further. She wanted me to be hurt and not trust anyone around me. I truly never thought she was responsible for them. The thought had come into my head a couple times, but I immediately pushed it out. I didn't believe she was capable of something like that. She was always sympathetic when I got the texts, and was trying to help me find out who sent them. It hurt so badly. I could almost forgive everything else, but everyone has a breaking point. I just feel completely worthless. How disgusting must I be, if my own girlfriend wants to say these things to me? Why would she do this? I don't understand. I guess she wanted me to be under her control and even more dependent on her emotionally. I'm trying to get out of the mindset that I deserve this. I knew I had to end it, and I had to do it before she would make me change my mind. I gathered all her stuff up and put it into bags. I was getting extremely upset while doing it and almost stopped, but I was also angry. I don't really get angry, and I previously just accepted her treatment, but something in me just snapped. I was actually mad at her for once. She was at her friend's house preparing to go out for New Year's Eve. I did feel guilty for ruining her night, but she had already ruined mine. I wanted to try and leave her in 2019, and start the new year without her. I had to do it right then, before I thought about it too much and forgave her like I did for everything else she has done. I called a locksmith to come and change the locks. I knew she would have an extreme reaction to being broken up with, by her obese boyfriend who doesn't deserve her, no matter the circumstances anyway, so I just had to do it. I texted her, "I found your other phone. I love you," her name, "but I can't put up with this crap anymore. All your stuff is in bags in the hall. Please come by and collect it tomorrow. I changed the locks so you will have to let me know when you're coming beforehand. Happy New Year." Yes. Saying Happy New Year was a bit petty. To say she didn't respond well to this would be an understatement. She called me crying, telling me she was sorry and would stop. She told me she was just trying to help me, and that she was doing it out of love. She told me she loved me more than anything and she was so sorry. I almost believed her, but I didn't give in. I apologized to her and hung up. She called me back 2 minutes later, angry and screaming how could I dare do this to her, called me a fat disgusting piece of s, and said she never loved me. She screamed that she never wanted me and that no one ever will. She screamed that even my own family didn't care about me. This hurt because my mom was an abusive addict, and my dad left when I was 10 and I haven't seen him since. She said that whenever we had intercourse, she was thinking about her ex and praying for it to be over. I guess she was just trying to say anything that would hurt me. I blocked her number. She called me back again on her friend's phone screaming how dare could I block her, and how dare I could leave her with no place to stay on New Year's Eve. I didn't do that. I would never leave her without a place to sleep. She could go to her parents and she has plenty money, that I gave her, so she could get a taxi and stay in a hotel if she preferred. She also said beforehand that she was staying at her friend's that night anyway. She posted on her Instagram story that she was heartbroken and that her boyfriend had left her homeless on New Year's Eve due to a little misunderstanding. After everything he put me through, he still does this. I loved him and thought he loved me, but I guess I was wrong. I then received messages from her friends telling me I'm a horrible person, and she deserves so much better than me. Her mother, unpleasant person, called me saying she was calling the police on me, and that I was abusive. She also brought up my weight, and said that it was laughable that I would break up with her looking the way I do, and I would never get anyone better. All of this was stressing me out to the extreme. I hate confrontation in any form, and I think I was just constantly shaking the whole evening. My girlfriend's friend ended up calling me on a different number, and said that she and her boyfriend weren't comfortable letting my girlfriend stay over at their house anymore. They were freaked out due to my girlfriend screaming at me on the phone, and she was apparently screaming at them as well, and saying she was going to kill me. All her other friends at the house were freaked out too, and she was effectively uninvited from their New Year's Eve night and they were trying to find a way to get her to leave. She was telling them that she had no money and no way of getting to her parents. This was just a straight-up lie. I had given her £500 several days ago. I sent her an extra £100 out of guilt anyway. I don't know where she went for a few hours, but she came back to my house around 2 a.m. and started trying to kick the door in and picked up a rock and tried to smash the window. It broke the window but didn't smash all the way through. She was screaming and crying through the letterbox. I ended up caving and letting her in once she calmed down somewhat, as my brother was there with me to back me up. She was drunk and tried to attack me, but I held her back. Eventually she just started crying. I felt really bad for her at this point and was almost ready to let her stay just for the night, but thankfully my brother ended up getting a taxi with her to take her to a hotel for the night. I felt really terrible the next day. I loved her and we spent 2 years together. I keep wondering if she's right, that I will never find anyone again. I can't see why anyone would want me. I also feel really guilty for what I did and I was probably too harsh on her to just kick her out like that. Her mother came to collect her stuff yesterday and started screaming at me, saying that I ruined her daughter's life, etc., etc. I feel really bad. I hope she's okay, and I want her to get help and realize why she treats people the way she does. I know I wasn't the first. I brushed off so many stories about her and just ignored all the signs. With the weight loss, I am currently continuing my diet instead of water fasting like I planned. I want to try and do a sustainable diet, instead of just starving myself for a month and probably gaining it back. I want to try a 7-day water fast to detox though. I also need to stop relying on alcohol to relax in the evening. It was a big reason I gained the weight. I realized I have been consuming at least 600 calories a day in alcohol alone, 3 pints of beer. I definitely used it to cope with stress, and I need to develop better coping mechanisms. I'm going to lose all the weight in 2020, and I'm also going to get into therapy so I can sort my head out. There are so many unhealthy thoughts I have, and I don't think hating yourself as much as I do is normal. I feel sad but strangely relieved, and like I can actually make changes in my life without her. Now for some closing comments. Well, she sure sounds like a freaking sociopath. I am very, very glad you ejected her from your life. Good goddamn riddance. I think therapy is a great idea. Not only do you have pre-existing anxiety issues and such, but no doubt this entire relationship wreaked some kind of havoc on your brain. This is some traumatic stuff. I hope you find a doctor you like, and don't give up if it takes a few tries. I'm really proud of you, OP. You took your own life into your own hands and took out the trash. Straight up psychopath if you ask me. This, buying the burner phone, is straight up loony territory. Dude, I'm going to assume this is real because of the weirdly specific details, but keep in mind, it's difficult to comprehend this is real because how could someone be so awful? She is certifiably messed up and dangerous, and even her friends turned on her. Get a restraining order and never speak to her again. Don't give her money, respond, or go near her. If she comes to your property, call the police, and warn your neighbors about her too. She never, ever had good intentions for you. She was abusive. She is abusive. Please be careful and stay strong. It's some of the most obscene emotional mistreatment I've read like this. Freaking evil. She was feeding him extra food, and then berated him for it. That is such a fast turnaround and so direct. Getting a burner phone just to send even more hate is difficult to comprehend. The extra steps. My God. OP really does need to watch out for her. Even her mother was horrible to him. Guess we know where she gets it. But kicking her out is a great first step. Keep her out, no contact. Restraining order for sure. Holy hell, she's a monster. Good for you for making the right decision and removing her from your life. Do not ever go back to her, dude. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but from your 2 posts, I gathered a lot of self-esteem issues you might have. It's great you're considering therapy. Definitely do that. Again, great job sticking up for yourself. 2020 is going to be your year. Best weight he's ever dropped was her. Hope his New Year's plans go well from here on out. I wanted to mention he should be prepared with something to say. She sounds like a sociopath, and got her friends and family to attack him. She's incredibly manipulative. Having a reply ready will be easier than on the spot. For people that may come out to her defense will be easier to deal with. Shut the attacks down. Don't continue to accept them and feed into this self-defeating attitude. OP, really stand up for yourself now. You're free. Defend yourself. You are not those things that she called you. You have a goal, and plans. You said you lost 7 pounds in your last post, but then said a lot of defeating things about it. 7 pounds is not nothing. Be proud of every pound you lose. I really wish you luck, OP. Have a great 2020. It's a great number. You're seeing her now for how she really was. How apt. Keep forging ahead. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.